and welcome to another installment of TOVG TV. I am Aaron from Time Out Video Games. Thank you for joining us. This is episode 2 of TOVG TV, and today we're going to talk about a new game that just came out last month called Transformers Fall of Cybertron. And I'm a big Transformers fan, have been for a long time. I love the movie. The first game was a really fun game that I enjoyed playing a couple years ago, and this one boasted more Transformers, more story. It was about the fall of Cybertron, obviously because of the name, and the robots, the Autobots, the Decepticons, their venture off to Earth. The Decepticons on the Nemesis, the Autobots on the Ark. So the game starts off with an epilogue that shows I'm not going to get into many spoilers, but I will say key points. It starts off with them on the Ark, starting to try to get away from Cybertron. It kind of shows the end of the game at the beginning, and it was a lot of fun to play this way. And I didn't know this was when I first started it. And then when you go back to the next level, it shows that the Cybertron's blown up and we're all doomed. We need to go through it. There were a couple of really, really good geeking out moments that I had in this game. First one was obviously when Metroplex first comes out for the first time. And it's really cool how you're playing as Optimus and you're going down kind of following his voice, and then he kind of inadvertently creates them, and it's a lot of fun. And this first moment when he transforms was really cool. Another moment was when you use Bruticus for the first time, when you're playing as the Decepticons, and you're transforming as him for the first time, and you're like, oh man, it's time to wreck stuff. And you kind of get delusions of grandeur when you're playing as him, because you think, the same as when you play as Megatron, you think that you are so powerful, but in aspect you're still getting killed, and you have to figure out a way not to get killed. Another really good geeking out moment was when the first time you play as Megatron, the reasons surrounding, and without giving much away, the reasons surrounding and build up to playing as Megatron for the first time was really cool, and a major geek out moment, and a lot of fun that they put that in there, and they made it so much fun to play as. And there were a ton of movie references in there, and one of the lines Megatron says to Starscream, and kind of the moment, is right out of the original Transformers movie, and a lot of the sayings are from the original Transformers movie. I think Rumble is his name, or one of them, one of Soundwave's little Transformers that come out of him. He says a line directly out of the movie. He says, first you crack the shell, then you crack the nut on the inside. And I didn't realize that was from the movie until I was watching it. We were watching it the other day. It was on TV, and he said that. I was like, oh, wow, I was just playing that game, and it was in it. It was really cool. But my favorite moment in this game was when you play as Grimlock for the first time. And Grimlock is my favorite Transformer. Actually, I have his little figure right here that I got. He's always been my favorite. When I was younger, and I don't know why. Maybe it was the way he talked, maybe it was because he transformed into a Tyrannosaurus Rex, but he was always my favorite when I was growing up. My brother liked Optimus, and I liked Grimlock. So I knew you were going to play as him in this, and when you first play as him, it's kind of sad surrounding why he's actually kind of dumb in this game, and it's not like cry-worthy, but it's a sad story. But when you transform as a T-Rex for the first time, it was my favorite moment in the game. And you feel powerful as playing as him. You feel it was my favorite level was his level, Grimlock Smash, and was what it was called. And when you play as a T-Rex for the first time, it's just such a cool feeling to play as a T-Rex. You're just destroying things using flamethrower out of the mouth, and it was a lot of fun to play as. And then finally to the final level, one of the most interesting aspects of it is each game, just like the first one, you alternate Autobots and Decepticons. In each level you play as one side. But in the final level, the whole story revolves around both. And so you play as the Autobots, and then the little insignia spins and you play as the Decepticons, and then it spins again, you play as the Autobots. And it connects all the way to the final part. And there are two different endings. It's who you choose in the final battle. And it's not really much different. I mean, it's only who wins the final battle, but then the final scene, cutscene's the same. And it was a good remix of the touch during the credits. That was a lot of fun, and it was you can tell this game was made by people who love Transformers and watched the show, watched the cartoon, and just wanted to make homages to the movie and show. And it was, you could tell that it was made with love and made for Transformers fans. And I enjoyed it a lot. I can see myself playing again. And I really enjoyed it. The voice acting was really good. They did, besides not having Frank Welker in the game as Megatron, they got a good fill-in for him. And one of the disappointing aspects was I wanted to play some of the multiplayer stuff, but you couldn't play unless you had Xbox Live Online and the Gold membership, so you can play with other people. There's no way you can just play as yourself in some of the extra parts. So you can only really play the story, which is slightly disappointing, and that's really the only reason why I give Transformers Fall of Cybertron a 9.5 out of 10. It's it'll be an easy competitor for Game of the Year for 2012 when I do that in a few months, and it was a lot of fun to play. I enjoyed it a lot, and I would recommend anyone who just likes third-person shooters. The graphics were fantastic. Cutscenes were magnificently done, and gameplay was fantastic, and controls were easy to play. Really well-rounded game and good game, so I would recommend picking it up for any Transformers fan, but any fan of good games in general, enjoy it. So once again, 9.5 out of 10. I enjoyed this game a lot. Pick it up. So that's all I have for today. For this episode, thank you for joining. We'll see you next episode. Once again, I'll have the links right here on the bottom for our Facebook page and the blog, Time Out Video Games, where it all started. Like us on Facebook. Follow our blog. Subscribe to this YouTube channel. Do everything you can. Tell friends about this. Tell friends about Time Out Video Games. I guarantee you won't be disappointed. So we will see you next time. Thank you for joining us. I'm Aaron once again, and this is TOVG TV. We'll see you next time.